2.5 years. And just like in 2014 and 15, I've done the eggshell trial. Basically, this is the same slide that I had last year, and I updated the results. So what we do is we have a field that we grid sampled in 2013, and then we applied lime and eggshells that fall, and then we sampled it starting every season, so spring and fall of every year. And I'll show you those results up here. So just a background on this, the lime was set to 6.7 pH, so we're liming up to that. This was a variable rate application. The blue is lime, and the black is eggshells. The legend here for your pHs, and I guess can anybody point out anything on this slide?
Where was your lime originated from?
What was that?
Where was your lime originated from?
Northwood, Iowa. Can anybody point out anything on the slide? Anything obvious? The inconsistencies in the line. We're seeing this up and down. We have spring and fall. There's really no correlation to what season. It's very inconsistent. I talked to Jim, and he was mentioning the particle sizes of the line. Some line quality, quarries, do have different particle sizes. So, I don't know, Jim, if you want to kind of
What Lauren is referencing, and we do a lot of lime analysis in the lab, is when we screen a lime sample, picture a screen door, a 1-inch square with the number of holes in that 1-inch square. That's basically what we're running the lime sample through. Ideally, you would like to see 100% pass an 8-mesh screen, so a square inch with 8 holes in it. And sometimes we don't get limestone that passes through there. The next level up is a 20 mesh screen, and then 60 mesh, and some folks ask for 100 mesh. Well, if you can get a lime sample that passes 100 mesh screen, those up and downs won't be there at all. What we see a lot of times is there's a difference between what is passing the 20 mesh screen and being retained by the 60, and the 60 mesh screen being retained by the 100. So it seems like it varies from year to year. I've taken samples myself, and they range from, and I know it came out of the state of Quarry from one year to the next, from really crappy to really good. So it's somewhat depending on how the limestone is being crushed at that end.
and then just note the consistency in the eggshells. Say we're basically right in that range where we want to be, where you look at the lime averages, yeah, it's great, but you got a lot of inconsistency in between that, where eggshells slow to begin with, which that's what we've been saying, it disperses very slowly, and now after 3 years, the pHs are to exactly where we want it to be. And it's just because the calcium is slowly dispersed. So then our next slide, here's the averages. So like I said, averages really don't speak volume because in this 6.4 average of the line, you have a lot of that inconsistency in there. So just for averages, on that 1.5 ton lime application, we started at a 6.26 pH, and you can see it did respond right away, whereas eggshell, it took a while, but now it is up to that 6.8, and that is that average. Where lime, it went up, and back down. And then so for the nutrient values, we got 2014 was a little over $20, 2015, 19 and 30 cents, and then 2016 we got $17.63 in nutrient values in the 2-ton application. Anybody tell me why it's going down? Everything's going down. You got urea, this is dollar, putting towards there. Because in eggshells there is nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, and there's actually things that I did not add in there. So here's your hidden value. When you're applying these eggshells as the first year availability, this is your hidden value. So just an overview, they did exactly what we expected and wanted. They maintained the pH to our desired levels, the consistency of them, the slow release, and the longevity. Are there any questions?
Question, where is source product, I know southeast, state, so, well, my question is, source that might be, I kind of get on there, don't really agree with the list of these. Any type of food, that, but we check out the techniques, and I feel that there is a part of
Yeah, so Northwood, the MAG levels, I think are around at 5%, and then the EMPs are the exact same as the eggshells. So that's why we put Northwood out there, apples to apples. It's, what was that?
What was the calcium like that?
For the line,
Yeah.
I think that's around that 13 or 14 EMPs. So 72% ECCE, that's what we use in our recs. Eggshells are exactly the same.
The difference between the eggshell, I'm gonna guess, the difference between the eggshells and the limestones, that with those percentages of calcium and magnesium, that would technically be called low limestones, whereas the eggshells, I assume, have very low magnesium in it.
Correct. Very, very.
So higher calcium source.
And you get the nutrient package to the eggshells and good things.
Correct. Yep, and it's an organic form.
On that previous slide, Lauren, was that, one more back, there, those numbers there, urea, MAP, potash, and sulfur, was that first year availability on 2 ton of eggshells?
Correct. So we get the results from Midwest Labs when we test these eggshells. This is what the percentage of what's in the eggshells is first year availability, and that's what I put out there.
And it has nothing to do with the neutralizing value.
Correct. That's when we get run like a line source on the eggshells, and they come back at 72 ECC.
So is there any nutrient value in lime?
That's a very good question.
Well, yeah, calcium and magnesium,
Yeah, calcium, magnesium, and I'm thinking a little bit of sulfur probably.
yeah. Some nobody ever tests limestone for anything else, for the most part, when they send it in, it's, they're after the same values that Lauren was talking about, the ECCD, maybe percent moisture. I don't know what the pH of eggshells are, normally the pH of the lime is about 9, and that's where the neutralizing effect comes in when the calcium and magnesium carbonate split, and the carbonates split off of that pretty readily. They grab hydrogen, and that's, we measure pH, that H is hydrogen. When that number goes up, that means your soil is becoming more acidic. And you need a little bit of hydrogen, but you don't need a whole. But I don't know any quarries that are checking for anything, but
In your estimation, we have a lot of high mag quarries around here, okay?
Yes, we do.
And we have soils that we need to lime. In your experience, do you think buying more expensive high calcitic lime trumps buying a magnesium level of, let's say, what is that, 7, 8, 9%? Or is there just not that, I mean, it's over such a big buffering factor that it's not going to make a lot of difference in the big picture? I mean, let's say you've got 30% mag levels already. You know, I mean, and we can't get rid of them. I mean, tillage is the only way to do it, and leaching, and it just isn't happening.
Mhm.
I haven't seen mine go down 1% in 30 years, and I've worked at it.
Yep. Probably the most interesting conference I was at in the last 2 years was out in Ohio, Conservation Tillage Conference. And it's like two different worlds when you get on the other side of the eastern edge of the Illinois border, because they use religiously, for those same reasons, to reduce the mag levels, gypsum. And they use it a lot, and they use it every year. And they measure through tile line studies how much magnesium is leaving that system, because once you get above 25, and Brian, are you referring to your saturation level? Yeah.
Correct.
Once you get above 25% on your base saturation level, magnesium it neutralizes pH, but it also starts causing some, if you look at how it reacts with clays in the soil profile, rather than an aggregate structure where it pulls those small clay particles into a conglomerate of particles that creates pore spaces for water and air to move through the soil, it tends to cause a layer. And this is work that Purdue University did probably 20 years ago, where they artificially induced those high mag levels. So what that means to you is those high mag soils tend to dry out a little bit slower. They tend to compact a little bit easier unless you've got a really good organic matter to buffer it, like we saw on the slide over by Claremont. So in my estimation, yeah, it would be better for you to find a higher quality calcitic source. I mentioned gypsum. I've seen more of that being applied in the last 4 years in Minnesota than I've ever seen in the previous 15.
In that Ohio study, did they, through measuring the leaching of the mag, did they find that was working?
Yeah, it was bringing it down, but it's a slow process. Like you said, at 30%, I don't know how much gypsum you'd have to put on for how long to get it down to below 25. It would be a long time. But what's happening is the excess sulfur in the gypsum application is bonding with the magnesium, creating Epsom salts, and in that form, it's soluble. It can move through the soil profile. And that's what they're measuring in their tile lines.
Is that hurting anything downstream though, once you run out to the water?
Is excess magnesium hurting anything downstream?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I have plenty of my drinking water at home. It doesn't seem to be hurting me. Doctor said I'm okay.
Question and comment, this goes on front here, Jim. We should have let left with that unit, very good quality calcium, very finely ground. It'd be a problem to get that stuff spread. And he had transportation cost gets a few big factors for your source. You got to go for it, for it, with that object, boy, that seems to be the greatest place to buy life for us when you look at this situation. In fact, the neutralize fast, high magnesium soil, is definitely. So, that's a good question. I go down that road with gypsum. Yeah, it does, and I've seen it. It lowers my magnesium levels, it increases my calcium. But there's a point in time where we put on so much of that sort of product too.
What's the difference in the cost then, or what?
The difference in cost of a calcitic lime to a dolomitic limestone?
No, it's Eggshell from the line.
What's the cost of the Eggshell versus the line?
Depends if it's Frank or.
Yeah.
And right now, I'll give you the scenarios we have. We're running roughly 4,000 ton a year that we're gonna have available. The issues we're running into, first of all, is the storage part of it. We can't store it on our premises. It has to be stored in your field. The third thing is the odors. You know, while you're hauling it there, once it's crusted, it's okay. But while you're hauling it there and while it creates its shell, the odors are
awful.
They're really, really bad. Sulfur, dead animal. I don't know how many calls I had this summer, where's Jeff at? But right back there, Jeff Dre called me, there's people within the township driving by that were complaining about it. It's kind of like the turkey manure though. Once it gets crusted, it's good, but the turkey manure they haul in a day, cross over. Ours is hauling in every day because we're roughly getting 15 pounds a day. So, and
Is there restrictions on where you can apply to the neighbors?
it follows you as a grower, it don't matter. It's how PO'd you want your neighbors. That's the point right there.
And it doesn't follow with like the turkey litter rules.
What was the cost?
By area, so if you're taking it to Claremont, we're at 44 tons spread delivered area.
Compared to what?
Depends on where you're getting it. I mean, it's usually around that 30 spread. Yep.
And we don't know how much longer it's gonna go on. We're working with the supplier. If they find a place, we'll continue, but once we run out of spots, we're gonna be done.
What, it's supposed to last a lot more years than the lime?
Well, Iowa State's right at 6 years now, Frank. Wow. They went to
Yeah.
6 years.
They did a study and, actually it was 7 years. They stopped it. It was just, their grant was up and they, stopped looking at it and, so
How
it was
long
at
does the
7.
lime last then?
I would say, and Jim, you can contribute it, but I would say, you're peaking at that 3 to 4 years. So it's going up and it's coming back down. The peak is right at about that 3.
I would agree with that. When we see the grid samples that are resampled on every 4-year time period, limed that first year, by the time we get to year 4 and resample, we're pretty much back where we were 4 years prior to that.
The other comment I was gonna make, somebody brought up the magnesium, or Jim did on the spreading, out in Ohio.
Oh,
Gypsum.
gypsum.
We did do some this fall, Lauren set up, a couple of growers that, we're actually putting it in the high pHs. We put a ton, and we're gonna start sampling within them, but we actually put a ton at 7 and above, 6, 7?
I think it was 6.9.
6, 9. So we're actually starting that one up, but we spread a ton per acre just for the calcium factor, and he's doing the deep tillage. Some of them got done, some of them are getting put on now, so we're gonna have a pretty good variable on that. The one is actually, we're gonna spread 15 acres in the spring, and there was 65 done that was deep tilled in this fall. The other one was about the same, probably. I don't know how much he got done. He got tilled in and he's spreading on top through the winter, so we're gonna have some pretty good information when that all comes back.
What's the cost of that?
For gypsum. Ryan, where you at?
What?
You remember what gypsum? I don't.
On the top of my head, it's like,
It's just like fertilizer. It's all priced out of
I
the
think
city.
product spread was about $20. And that's usually at a 500 pound rate.
Is that pelletized material?
What was it?
Pelletized material?
It was the gyp soil.
They have a pelletized material too.
They do, yeah, they do.
But this is just the powdery form, if you want to call it that.
So as long as we keep finding spots, I think we're pretty good all the way till spring, early summer.
Have they looked into putting in, or have you looked into, is there anything they can put into it to reduce the odor? I mean, something.
There is actually aluminum sulfate. Yeah, aluminum sulfate, they told us that we can spray on there, and it'll just seal it right up.
Spray on the pile or
On the pile.
So how long does the stench stay when you spread it in the field?
It's gone right
Yeah,
away.
it's not doing it that way.
It's gone. Oh, yeah. But if you have questions on that, you can talk to any one of us on that. Red, we better get you up here.
Or Cole.
Oh, Cole.
Cole.